We began with 100 senators. We ran 32 laps. 20 senators remain.
Ron Wyden, Ben Cardin, Rick Scott, Tim Kaine, Elizabeth Warren, Jim Risch, Patty Murray, Rand Paul, Mark Warner, Chris Coons, Mike Brown, Cindy Hyde-Smith, Kirsten Sinema, Cory Booker, Debbie Stabenow, Sherrod Brown, John Boozman, Ed Markey, Tom Cotton, Jeff Merkley.
This esteemed group of 13 Democrats and 7 Republicans will return to the same track they qualified on, Homestead-Miami Speedway. But this time, the race is nearly twice as long as their heat races. This 15-lap race will test the senators like they've never been tested before. This is the finals of the 2020 Senate race.
Welcome to the grand final of the Senate race. We got the 20 fastest senators. 5 cars moved on from every race, and they're all here to battle it out for the title of the world's fastest senator. In previous races, you could finish as low as 5th, and you'd be fine, but that is not the case anymore. You finish first, or you die. That's it. Let's ride on board with some of the people we have in this grand final, Aaron. This is a big occasion.
This is an exciting one. This is the real deal.
Who is out on track at the moment? Mark Warner just leaves the pits. Mike Brown of Indiana was the first driver to leave the pits. Some drivers have had color changes. As you can see, Mike Brown was in a purple car earlier, I believe, but now he is in the yellow car, along with Sherrod Brown of Ohio.
Most of them have had color changes, right?
Good amount. Here's a lot of guys in the pits. They better speed it up. This is the other yellow car I was talking about, Sherrod Brown. Brown and Brown are 1 and 2. I didn't even realize that. Sherrod Brown and Mike Brown. Is it Braun or Brown? I have no idea.
Alternate every time you say it.
Braun Brown. Here's Patty Murray getting a big draft from the red car of either Jim Risch
Brown just
or Jeff
overtook
Merkley.
Brown.
Yep, Brown and Brown. Mrs. Brown's boys are having a battle up there. Patty Murray did get a bit of a draft from Jim Risch, so this could be a pole-worthy lap from Patty Murray. We'll see. For the line, second. Wow. Not good enough. Here's a lap. This is Ed Markey going for his one-time lap. Ed Markey. I guess that wasn't the real. Oh, there it is. 14th. Not good. Not bad either, but likely it's pretty bad. Oh, that's Rick Scott of Florida out of nowhere up in the 3rd. Only 2 drivers haven't set laps yet.
They're all very close at skill level, so it's going to be an interesting race.
Going through the grid for the final time. On the 10th and last row, the least skilled senator who didn't even get a lap in, Rand Paul, alongside Ben Cardin in the Gochujang red car. In the 9th row, Debbie Stabenow of Michigan and Jim Risch of Idaho. In the 8th row, Ron Wyden of Oregon and Tom Cotton of Arkansas. And John Boozman from also Arkansas and Kirsten Sinema. That's not Kirsten Sinema, that's Ed Markey of Massachusetts in bronze car. Then Kirsten Sinema in the new all-blue car for her, alongside Tim Kaine in a new black ride. Jeff Merkley keeping the red car alongside Cindy Hyde-Smith in the pink car. And up into the 4th row, Chris Coons, the shock advancement from race 2, I believe, alongside Mike Brown or Braun or whatever it is from Indiana in the yellow car. And Elizabeth Warren in the green car, and Cory Booker in a new light blue car. 2nd row, Sherrod Brown from Ohio, and Rick Scott from Florida, the only home senator in the race.
That could be an advantage for him.
And on the front row, Patty Murray, a shock front row, alongside Mark Warner from Virginia in the new purple car.
All right, Corey, who's your money on?
My money is positioned millimeters above Rick Scott with the home advantage.
I think I'm gonna stick with Coons.
Chris Coons.
He's surprised us before. I think
he does
do it
have
again.
the highest rating, but highest rating has never gone to the first place position.
Yeah, Chris Coons.
True. Actually, I might go with Cory Booker instead.
Chris Coons only made it through because he avoided the carnage in that last race. Patty Murray got a draft in qualifying, so she could be artificially high in the field, but we'll see how that works. Everyone here did make it in on merit, so I don't think we'll see anyone fall off the back of the pack, which should make it interesting. But the third and fourth races were very calm, while the first and second races were disasters. Those two things, they may mix like oil and vinegar, but you never know until the race starts. The grand final of the Senate race, 15 laps, almost twice as long as the other races.
Who is the fastest senator?
Green flag is in the air. Down to the bottom already is Rick Scott. Mark Warner goes to the lead. Patty Murray falls back.
Oh, Booker's taking third.
Three wide already.
Rick Scott, my man, already out front, setting the pace. What is to come?
3 wide already.
You say that. Say that. But do you know? We have 15 laps. Can we hold it?
Rand Paul is looking like he's already losing the draft, which I hope isn't true.
Rand Paul is going to drop back very quickly.
We're 3x3x3.
Rand Paul is by far the lowest rated here.
Well, not by far, but
by
no,
3
Booker.
percentage points.
What are you doing?
stuff is getting real messy out back. But everyone makes it through
Elizabeth
lap
Warren
1.
is taking second place.
Warren and
Elizabeth
Warner.
is one to look out for. Warren at 50% is second in our standings here, alongside Ed Markey.
And has taken first place.
Stabenow and Cinema.
Rick Scott still holds fastest lap, so there could be some opportunities
Well,
for him in the future.
he
if
was
can find a
falling.
gap.
He was in the draft pretty big on that lap. But it looks like we've already lost Debbie Stabenow and Kirsten Cinema and Rand Paul. Very disappointing, because I wanted to see everyone racing in this race. But Ben Cardin in the Gochujang red car goes to the point. Who saw him coming? He was in the all-blue car in his heat race. And now he is...
Red's a faster color, and that's why he's winning.
Well, Richard Bird did not prove that right, but Ben Cardin is going to lead
That was a fluke.
lap number 2. And I tell you what, Cinema and Stabenow might not have completely lost this pack.
Oh, and Cardin takes the fastest.
Ron
lap as
Wyden,
well.
4 wide,
Wyden.
4 wide.
Ron Wyden.
Are they going to make it
wide.
through?
I
Are they
have
going to make
done
it
a
through?
Fantastically bad job in
Cardin!
Scott's
Cardin and Braun! Oh, they make it. They barely survived that. If that was Bernie Sanders, that would have been a massive accident. 4 wide. How are they holding on to this?
I'm looking for my man Rick Scott to start making
They're
the
gonna have
back
to
here
look
down the
pretty far
inside.
Oh my goodness.
He's moved
Wow,
up
Booker's
into
in
8th. His
17th.
gap is dropping. He's moved up to 7th. Can he make something happen on the inside?
I tell you what,
Will he get squeezed out?
Booker falling back is what Stabenow and Cinema want, because they want to be able to get the draft from any little straggler out back there. Rand Paul is a lost cause. He's not coming back. But Chris Coons takes the lead.
Rick Scott up the inside has made it back up to 4th place.
No, he's been hanging out in 4th this entire time.
Maybe I should have stuck with Coons.
I worry that Rick Scott can't get out of 4th. Not
Oh,
gear.
we've got plenty of time.
Well, it's true that you can't get out of 4th gear, because you're in 4th gear all the way around this track, but Rick Scott was stuck in 4th place.
Oh, he's in third.
And as I say that, Rick Scott to the bottom, to the lead, 2 red cars, Jim Rish and Merkley almost destroy each
Oh,
other.
Booker's gone back up. He's in 11th now.
Yep, this is it's a big pack, and everyone's seemingly staying together. And
this is
this
a
opens the
close
door.
race.
Cinema and Stabenow are back in it. Cory Booker swerving around everywhere back there. 3x3x3x3x3x3x3x3.
Goes 4 wide, a
This
little
is
bit
a-
farther back there.
Tom Cotton, where'd he come from? This is a 15-lap affair. And look at Rand Paul. Got a feel for
He
him.
might lap them in reverse. Then he'd be in first.
Fittingly, with his libertarian
Oh,
beliefs, he
got a
is
4
doing it
wide.
all on his own back there. Wyden, Coons, Scott, Cotton, all running up front. These guys haven't gone 4 wide very much, but the one time they did, Mike Brown about wrecked the field, so I worry. Ed Markey. Oh, there's a big block from Ron Wyden. He doesn't want him to go 4 wide, does he?
The money was on the right guy. Cody.
Still
Scott's
3x3.
back.
Corey
He's
Booker
certainly in it.
falls to the back of the pack. But I tell you who's making the way up. Debbie Stabenow. We thought she lost the draft, and she's making it back up to the lead. In 11th.
12th. Debbie Stabenow at a 44% rating is actually the second lowest tied with.
Oh, 4-1! No!
Oh no!
They save it! They save it! Boozman!
Wow.
Boozman and Patty
They
Murray!
just pushed the top 4 so far ahead.
How did they save that?
That was impressive driving.
The pack is still alive, and I guess that shows why they made it through.
It's interesting. They're all so close to each
my
other
goodness.
skill-wise. It's really anyone's game except Ren.
The pack has stratified a little
Markey,
bit.
though, pulling up as we expected from the second-rated.
The top 6 have pulled away slightly, but the big pack is right there. Oh my goodness. Where's Rand Paul? There he is.
Wow, look at him go.
If Rand Paul wins this race, they're going to go 4 wide again. Did you learn nothing for the last lap, Tom Cotton?
We are about halfway through, and it is still anyone's game except Rand
Oh
Paul.
man. Tom Cotton's trying to drive the Democrats into each other, and he just did. Chris Coons and Ed Markey make a little bit of contact.
Scott has fallen to 10th place.
Tom Cotton is... Oh, I'm not
We've
sure.
seen a comeback from him
Stabenow's
before.
actually surpassed Scott.
Yep, Stabenow's hanging out in the top 10.
If Scott can
Forward.
take this inside line again, he might have an opportunity.
Usman and Warren. Oh!
4 wide.
Markey and Warren, the 2 Massachusetts senators. Contact!
Whoa!
Big-
Massachusetts
big
is out of the
crash.
race. Warren and Markey. Disappointment.
That was a fairly controlled crash. It didn't hit a lot.
The state of Massachusetts cries. Because they're done. And Rand Paul is no longer going to finish last. Wow.
Well, he's still good.
Last of the people who are involved.
And we saw lots of cars lost the draft. Hyde, Smith, Wyden, Risch, Brown. It's going to be a 13-12 car fight up front.
Stabenow has taken first
Debbie
place.
Stabenow.
All the way from the
Stabenow.
back.
In all the drama.
Losing the draft. Stabenow has come into first place.
And
Big
look at them
opportunity.
back there. Look, there's the pack 5. And
a
there's
whole
Rand
se-
Paul.
There's a whole separate pack there.
I am not...
Oh, there he is.
I'm not sure that those back 3 are going to lose this pack. They're going 4 wide again. They're going 4 wide again.
Almost 5.
Yeesh. Warner, Merkley, Rick Scott.
Oh, a small
Oh.
line of contact.
Rick Scott just drove into Jeff Merkley, but they save it.
Rick Scott in 3rd place, looking for an advantage up the
5
middle
laps to
here.
go.
He's going to push it through there under Debbie Stabenow in the middle of Cory Booker.
Cory Booker.
Booker to the bottom.
Holy
Taking the
heck, my
lead.
guy. He's returned.
Cory Booker out of nowhere. Right now it looks like Tom Cotton's kind of retiring to the back, just hanging
It's
out.
between Scott and Booker now.
How have we already done 10 laps? This race has flown by. Will
'Cause
we
it's so
see?
close.
Will we see another rack before the end of the race?
The Scott
Tim
Booker
Kane has
bets.
taken-
Tim
the lead.
Kane, where did he come from?
In his furious quest
I didn't
for
even
redemption.
realize Tim Kane was still in this race. Tim Kane, Chris Coon, Debbie Stabenow has lost the draft
Usman
again.
has actually made it up. Oh, he's falling back to 10th
Debbie
now,
Stabenow was
but
leading the race, and she's lost the draft. That's not good for her. She's not got a lot of time to make it back up. But it's an all-blue nose up front, except for Tom Cotton, who is one of the only red noses, the only Republican in this lead pack. But Debbie Stabenow is catching back up, and Patty Murray, our front row starter. It would be really disappointing to see them fall. 4 wide, 4 wide, 4
Cory
wide!
Booker is staying in the
Oh,
top 5.
contact.
Oh, Mark Warner, can we see that please, cameraman? Ben Cardin smartly falls back and doesn't keep going 4 wide so we don't get any more contact. That was Coons, Warner, and Cotton almost murdering each other. There hasn't been a murder on the Senate floor in a long time.
But a murder on the track?
A murder on the Orient Express
Usman
is about
up
to happen.
second. Impressive.
4
Up to
wide.
first. Usman with a big comeback here.
4 wide for the lead. Not
3
quite.
laps to go.
They stratify back out to 3 wide. Where Tim Kane has fallen to the back of
Rick
his
Scott
back.
has
Cory Booker's
moved
trying.
back up to 6th.
Jeff Merkley, we haven't seen much of him, except
It's like
getting
Cory
hit.
Booker's trying to...
Booker and Scott side by side.
Oh, he's just falling.
Scott-
further.
Oh!
Away.
Tim Kane, 4 wide. Ben Cardin! They save it. They save it. Oh!
Wow, Cory Booker's fallen back all the way to 10th.
This
We
is
have to be
shaping
still
up
with the pack.
for a massive crash on the last lap. I hope that doesn't happen. Jeff Merkley to the lead. He's been getting bullied by Republicans all day, and he wants to prove them wrong and take the lead. Tim Kane to the bottom after that dangerous 4 wide move. Tim Kane sends it to the bottom and takes the lead.
Will Tim
Usman,
Kane win the whole race?
he very well
Definitely
could.
possible.
He had a chance to be vice president, and that didn't work out.
This is redemption.
Is this redemption day for Tim Kane?
He's got a lot to prove.
4 wide again.
Nothing to lose.
Murray, Boozman, Cotton, and Cardin. They make it. They make it. They're going a little bit slow.
Cory Booker looks like he's up.
Yeah, Wyden, Brown, and Hyde Smith are not catching this pack with 2 laps to go. Oh, man. Oh, contact! Patty Murray, John Boozman. They're out. What happened there?
We'll have to see in the replay.
That is so disappointing. After a front row start for Patty Murray. She's out.
Spot Rand Paul.
And there's Boozman with 3 wheels, still ahead of Rand Paul somehow.
He's so...
4 wide into the last corner.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Cardin to the bottom. Warner, Kane, Cotton backs out to not make it 4 wide,
Booker's
luckily.
coming back.
Cory Booker's in it. Kirsten Cinema was not in this race for the longest time. And here comes Rick Scott. It's a 10-car race.
Seems like it's just between Kane and Cardin now, unless something goes wrong.
It's anyone's game, Aaron.
This is the last lap.
Yes, but it doesn't matter.
I don't know if Jeff Merkley will be able to make it back up. Oh, they're so close. That's Cory Booker and Chris Coons. But Ben Cardin leads the way. The Republicans are falling back. Rick Scott is their only hope right now, unless Tom Cotton can make something work on the high side. Through the final corner, Tim Kaine on top, Ben Cardin on the bottom, Kirsten Cinema sends it through turn 3.
It doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Cardin and Cinema. Cinema falls back. Can Rick Scott get a draft?
I think
Rick Scott has an
Ben
opportunity.
Cardin is clear of the field. Ben Cardin is your Senate race champion.
Fastest senator.
Ben
Impressive.
Cardin of Maryland.
49% approval rating.
49% approval rating.
Every single
I
time.
came pretty close.
76 years old. Ben Cardin.
Corey and I have failed every single bet
I
we've
came
made.
pretty close here.
You gotta feel.
Yeah, but you lost by a lot more.
You gotta feel for everyone who fell back.
Yeah, but I beat you.
Boozman, Warren, Murray, Rish, and Markey. But Ben Cardin. We see him
This is our champion.
taking a victory lap.
Red truly is
He
the
is
fastest color.
He is in the dark red, actually.
Yeah, that's a shock to see the Culture John red car actually winning a race. He's going to come down to victory lane. No victory donuts for the 76-year-old. What a champion. Ben Cardin. Who saw that coming? Did you, Aaron?
I did not.
You didn't see it coming at all. Ben
If I'd
Cardin
seen it coming, I would have bet on him.
coming to park in his pit
Rand
stall.
Paul has just finished the race.
Rand Paul, everybody.
Excellent. Good work.
15th
What a
place.
trooper.
That's the top 75%. Now it's replay time. Warren made contact down below, and oh, it's Boozman. It was the 2 green cars.
That's still impressive.
Barely
They
made
take first for a
contact.
while.
This was...
That was the end of their races. 'Tis a shame. You gotta feel for Boozman. He was doing big things for Arkansas. Him and Tom Cotton, both Arkansas senators. And looks like Boozman. Yeah, Boozman just gets rammed by Patty Murray. He just kind of veers in too early, bounces off, and bam! Murray and Boozman race over. Spinny spin
Unfortunate for
spin.
Boozman, he had a true opportunity.
Yeah, Boozman was a... Ooh, what was that? Who was that? Was that, Jim Rish?
A vendetta.
No, he tries to
Maybe
avoid
there's
Patty
some
Murray
behind the
and just
scenes-
steers into her.
Maybe
Aaron, we're going to take a fast-forward journey through the entirety of Ben Cardin's race.